Don't just talk about your goals for 2020. Get healthy with us. Our facilities offer state-of-the-art equipment and 24/7 access with all of our membership plans. Call or come by for your personal tour today at Workout Anytime Valley.
Welcome back to the Press Box and the Tailgate Crew. My name is Jermaine. The Maine Event is in the building. We're talking about Super Bowls. We're talking about the Super Bowl that's going to happen in a couple of weeks. Got some matchups here that a lot of people need to look at, need to really think about here. And one of the matchups for me is the quarterback matchup. You got Jimmy G and the Mahomie. Yeah, I did go there with the State Farm commercial. I went there. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, but that's beyond the point. Point of the matter is, you got a guy with a noodle arm against a guy who doesn't use his arm, and that's the way that goes. Garoppolo's not showing his worth right now. He really doesn't need to show his worth because the running backs are pretty much doing all the work for him. Mostert, Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida. I mean, those three guys are really pretty much doing the work for him. But you've got an outstanding receiving core that you can really lean on. You know, with the Emmanuel Sanders, the Deebo Samuels, George Kittles, Dante Pettis, who's probably one of the best returners in the game right now that nobody knows about. And then you've got an experienced secondary for the 49ers that can really match up with the Tyreek Hills. That can really match up with the Travis Kelce's and the Sammy Watkins and things of that nature. Mecole Hardman, who's having an outstanding rookie season. I'm really wanting to see this matchup between the secondary of the 49ers and the receiving core of the Chiefs. We know that Patrick Mahomes is probably one of the best quarterbacks when it comes to throwing against the zone or throwing against man coverage, because he's got speedy receivers and he's got this absolute monstrosity for an arm. I mean, I don't even know what else to call it because cannon is overused. I mean, Scud missiles overused, underused, but it's not really that big. Well, it's probably about that big of an arm. But point of the matter is, I'm trying to make is that you've got two quarterbacks who are doing it differently. You got one quarterback who has thrown for only 208 yards this whole postseason. You got another quarterback who threw for 208 yards in one quarter over 2 games. So the contrasts are there. Andy Reid, versus Kyle Shanahan. They're there. They're two offensive coaches. But what's going to stand out most? Is it going to be the running game for the 49ers? Will the front seven of the Kansas City Chiefs show up like they did against Tennessee? Well, let me rephrase that. After the first quarter at Tennessee, when they started selling out. Well, they were already selling out, but that's beyond the point. Tennessee just went away from the running game, and it totally messed them up. So I'll just put it out there. Now, Jimmy G's gonna have to make some throws in this game. Can he make those throws that are meaningful? Patrick Mahomes is gonna have to put it on the ground, and he's gonna have to run a little bit. Will he be meaningful in that game? It's yet to be seen. And you'll hear my prediction on this game next week. So when we get into the main part of this, now we haven't talked about the special teams, and both teams have got great veteran kickers in Harrison Butker, who I know personally from his days at Westminster and his days at Georgia Tech. Good guy, great kicker, even better person. We also look at kickers like Robbie Gould, who was my guy with the Bears for such a long period of time, and the Bears have not been the same since he got let go. So we'll just we'll put that out there as well. And then you look at the punting game. You got a veteran in Dustin Colquitt who has a ring. His brother has a ring. He's looking for his ring. This is his best chance yet to get a ring. He's done some great things over the course of his career. He's played with some big clubs. He's also done some really, really, really good things in the community as well. It's going to come down to field. Some of this game is going to come down to field position, and it may come down to even the last second field goal. Looking at Harrison Butker and what he can do with a strong leg that he has, Robbie Gould, who can kick in pretty much any condition. I mean, you kicking in the confines of Soldier Field, and you're pretty much a 70%, almost an 80% kicker at Soldier Field. That says a lot about your leg, and that says a lot about you learning the geometry of Soldier Field and how those winds work in that stadium. You come out to Levi Stadium. Yes, it's a little bit of a different feel. It's not quite Candlestick, but it's not quite the challenging place that you had in Chicago. With that being said, would I give an advantage to each one of these kickers? No, but I will say this: Harrison Butker is also kicking in a difficult spot as well, because it's a flat area in Kansas City. There's a little bit of a wind in that stadium at times. There's also a little bit of wind in and out at times. So you're looking at two great kickers. Can you give a prediction just based on that? No, you can't. And you'll hear my prediction next week on this game. Y'all stay tuned on that. Yo, this is the Maine Event. You're listening to the Live by Terrence Network. Welcome back into the Press Box and the Tailgate Crew. My name is Jermaine. The Main Event is in the building. So excited to be back on to the show, man. I'm excited to be back on and showing you everybody the love that I have for sports and sports as a whole. But there's one thing that's really been bothering me, and it's this whole sign stealing thing, in the Major League Baseball, where you have a manager and a general manager being fired. You had a manager. You had another manager quit. You had another manager let go, and this was his first job. I mean, here's the thing that I contend on this. Okay, you gave long suspensions to AJ Hinch. You gave long suspension to Jeff Luhnow. And now they no longer have jobs. Alex Cora was let go by the Red Sox, and he just won them a World Series. Here's my thing that a lot of people probably won't agree with me on this. I'm not a baseball fan per se, except for the Cubs. But sign stealing has been going on since the beginning of baseball. And those teams who use the videos to look at signs, they're those teams who did not win the World Series, or teams that did not make it to the playoffs, are mad because they didn't think of it first. That's why I'm looking at it. Sign stealing is a time tradition. Now, am I mad about the suspensions that went down? I, for one, think they're excessive. Some people said lifetime bans. Absolutely not. I mean, if you're gonna hand out lifetime bans, then you might as well put an asterisk next to Barry Bonds and the home run record. You might as well put an asterisk next to Barry Bonds and the single season home run record, because if he was using steroids, then yes, then that's what you should do there. I mean, this is not Roger Maris. This is not the Roger Maris situation with Ford Frick, who I still think is, that was probably the biggest travesty of baseball at that time. Putting that asterisk on that 61 home runs of Roger Maris. Secondly, if you're gonna do that, then you gotta look at what happened in '98. Then that means that '98 was a moot point. That means that Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa did not put baseball back on the map. That means that you have to unwrite history. If you're going to sit up here and you're going to give these long suspensions to AJ Hinch, you're going to have another manager forced to step down, and another manager who this is going to be his first job forced to step down right before spring training. Is it fair? No. Do I think that this needs to go any further than what it did? No. I mean, they just used what technology had at that point in time, and that's what happened. Rob Manfred, I think he overstepped the bounds a little bit. Now he did make them aware we can't use video. We can't use video to steal signs, but they're already doing that. Looks like they've been doing that for the last 5-6 years. So why punish one and not punish all? And if you're not gonna suspend players on this, then why are you suspending managers? Why are you suspending general managers? Why are you letting managers being let go because of something that everybody's been doing since the beginning of time in this game? This is a national pastime, isn't it? That's a little food for thought. We'll be right back.
Don't just talk about your goals for 2020. Get healthy with us. Our facilities offer state-of-the-art equipment and 24/7 access with all of our membership plans. Call or come by for your personal tour today at Workout Anytime Valley.
Welcome back into the Press Box and the Tailgate Crew. My name is Jermaine. The Maine Event is in the building. I am so honored and so privileged to have this talented young man, Brick, New Jersey born, Columbus, Georgia bred. My man JiggSaw. He's a spoken word writer, great singer, great dancer. JiggSaw, how you doing today, brother?
What's going on, brother? How you been?
Been good, man. Been good. So tell me, I know you got some things going on, but there's one big thing that you're trying to get organized right now, and that's the Jig and Friends. We know you did one about a year ago. Tell me about this one and what you want to do with this one.
I'm trying to get a couple of different artists, other than the ones from last time, to come together and put on a pretty good show. It could be a mixture of rappers and R&B, but, I try and keep it categorized. So I like to keep them, separated. This one might actually be an R&B show. Last one was pretty much rap. So what I do is I just go and I host it. I'll probably open up and maybe close, but I let the artist take over from there. If it's food, drinks, all kinds of stuff going on.
And that's awesome, man. That's really, really awesome. And I know that you got some major things going on. The last couple of years you've been doing America's Got Talent. You've been on the Armstrong Show. Just tell us everything that you've had going on in your world in the last year or so.
Gotcha. I did The Voice before. Like I said. Well, I've been on 106 in Park, like when I was a teenager. I've been featured in YB Magazine. Just a couple